Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Rex.
I'm Daniel.
He's a level 3 whiskey sommelier.
He's a master level whiskey mooch. And
you say things now.
Oh.
Yes.
And today we're drinking Stock and Barrel single malt from Canada, thanks to Stephen Simple.
Stephen Simple, you magnificent bastard.
Stephen brought this all the way from Canada.
I've heard a thing or two.
Yeah, about the Canada.
About them.
This is a craft distiller, 100% barley.
Yeah.
Which is why it's called a malt.
Mm-hmm.
They do small batches in their own copper stills.
Yeah.
They aged them for 3 years and used oak. So they're following all the rules of Scotch. Which is kind of cool. They don't add anything to it. They don't chill filter. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it's not a dark color, so they're not doing the E150. So, I am getting on the nose, in order, sweet leather caramel. Take your time.
I'm getting a little bit of...
Just deeply, profoundly interesting. Chad, don't even cut away. Let's look at Daniel.
I can't figure it out. There's something in here that's just piquing the back of my brain.
We're on pins and needles. I
know. I'm getting a little bit of sour and wet hay.
Edge of your seat thrill ride right
now. With my mojo.
There's thousands of people waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Just waiting.
What's he gonna say?
Wait for it. This is like waiting for the groundhog to see his shadow.
And then he finally pokes his head up and goes,
"Wet hay and damp moss notes."
There you go.
And they're like, "Oh, it's fall."
You're not wrong. There's hay in here. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I get damp hay, and it's sort of sour, but I still get some cinnamon in there too.
Cinnamon. No, there's no cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon toast on sourdough bread.
Lost all credibility. How embarrassing. On the cinnamon.
Sourdough toast.
You had a good run.
That's what it is. It's sourdough toast.
All right, then mark this day on your calendar. Stock and Barrel single malt whiskey. The day Daniel said cinnamon.
The day the music died.
It's the day music died. Arbergum 95. Arbergum 95.
It's not that sweet. It's not as sweet as I expected from the nose.
But I haven't tasted it yet. I should probably do that on a whiskey review. Oh, a little bit of a...
It tastes a little bit thin.
A little... well, hold on. A little thin, and then some pointiness. I'm not going to say spikiness. You bumped the camera.
Oh, did I?
You're not drunk, Daniel.
Yeah, sorry.
Bump the camera.
We're always making this camera move, and you guys are like, "Oh, the moving camera is making me sick."
We are always moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
We.
Arbergum 95. That's how you do it, right? Look, Arbergum.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go for. Arbergum.
Whatever happened to the cheating death part of the toast? Just tightened it up.
Yeah, just went for the trio.
I love the cheating death. I cheat death as often as possible. I am a bit of an expert at cheating death. Just tightened up the toast so we can have 1, 2, and then a joint 3. That's it. No reason. But we did do cheating death with the Brian Brushwood cameo.
I figured out what it is.
Came in for that one special video we did with you guys.
That's right, on Friday.
The top 10 beginner whiskeys. We'll link it up here. If you know somebody that is interested possibly in whiskey, share this one because it's an easy one for them to
keep commenting.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm going to keep adding your suggestions for beginner level whiskeys to my spreadsheet, which I will post on our resources page on the website.
Yeah.
So we can then start just linking anybody who's looking for suggestions to that page.
So this is a kind of an interesting one for me.
Pine. I figured out what it is. Pine trees. I'm getting pine trees. Like when you go shopping for a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Took me a second. But you know, if you go to a Christmas tree farm and you go to the part where they're recutting the end off before they shake all the loose pine needles out.
Yeah.
And you're standing right there, you're going to get a mixture of pine needles with that sour, sweet sap.
Especially when you lick it.
Yeah, especially when you lick the bottom. That's what happens. Next time you get a Christmas tree farm, they're like, you must have fresh cut the ends. They're like, sure. They cut it like, how's that? And you're like, let me check. and then you're like, yeah, that's good.
All right, so this is an interesting one for me. Pine is a rare flavor to get into a whiskey. I'm still getting leather, though. I'm still not getting the cinnamon. I'm absolutely getting the pine.
There's no sweetness to this as far as like a typical... I'm not looking at any butterscotch, no honey notes.
There's... You know what it is? It's
kind of a spicy sweetness.
So, not lemon. Lime?
Oh, that's me. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a citrus sweetness in there. A lemon would be too tart and sour. There's some kind of citrusy note. It's not.
It might actually be a lime note.
Yeah.
But it's too bitter for it to be the actual citrus.
All right. So, consult the manual. Stephen Hill. 3 Edinburgh Fringe jokes. Moving on.
Yeah, I'm just getting pine and alcohol.
John Stofang.
Stofang, I think we got it correct.
Stofang?
He says his buddies call him Fang.
Fang.
Yeah.
Fang. All right. This past weekend I had a double-edged mooch.
And, this is a good story. It's story time, children.
And be-mooched experience. So I went to a party at a friend's house, and while I know there'd be some basic beer and liquor available to the masses, I decided to bring a bottle of Weller Select and Compass Box Oak Cross. That's why you get invited to parties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is why you get invited to parties.
I figured I'd drink them, offer a little to friends, and take the remainder home. Little did I know that my 2 whiskeys would be so popular that they'd get totally drained long before the party wound down. Live and learn. Sucker. Yeah, I'm the other person in the party.
He's the one training them down. They're like, hey, thanks for bringing that, Daniel.
Yeah. I was like, this is great.
Where's
man.
the second bottle?
But the hostess of the party, who was has an impressive whiskey stash of her own, not only shared some of her green spot and yellow spot.
Oh, yeah.
Once everyone else had left, but she pulled up a chair to reach the real hidden stash where her partners keep his Longmorn Glenlivet 30 year.
Okay, so it's story time.
Longmorn Glenlivet 30 year. What is this?
Yeah, okay.
He said it's the oldest whiskey he ever tried. He doubts he'll see it again.
Yeah, you won't.
He mooched a 30-year-old Scotch.
He mooched a $500 bottle of whiskey.
Damn, bro.
Okay, so probably $300 to $500, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So there was an era in Glenlivet. We talked about this in licensing. Remember that era we talked about where Glenlivet fought to be the only one who could call their whiskey Glenlivet?
Sure.
And the judges ruled, Rex wasn't listening, the judges ruled that the other distilleries could add Glenlivet to their name with a dash after it, or a hyphen. And so there was a period of time where there were distilleries called Craigellachie-Glenlivet, or Longmorn Glenlivet, which means the Longmorn distillery on the Glenlivet. Right? And so this is a whiskey that dates back to when they were still adding the hyphen Glenlivet to their name.
Right.
More than 30 years ago, even. And that's long gone. And I looked that bottle up, and it's currently going on auction sites for $300 to $500 a bottle.
Wow. So are you telling me, as much swagger as Longmorn has today, back in the day they were trying to ride on the coattails of Glenlivet?
Yes. A lot of Speyside distilleries
humble
were.
beginnings, Longmorn.
Yeah.
You grew up.
They were a blend.
You grew up fine, though.
They are contributing to blends for a long time.
Right.
By the way, I did this little trick that I'll show you guys, and it actually helped reset. This is something that is not science, and it's not backed by science, but I found it to be sort of a trick that works for me. When you're trying to reset your nose, because you've just got too many things coming, and you're trying to figure out a baseline again.
I showered.
There's a thing called it's called a thing called nose fatigue. Musicians will get it in the recording studio when you get a thing called
smell of
ear fatigue.
Lazy ass.
Yeah, that's totally. In this recording studio, it's a very known thing to have ear fatigue, where you've been listening with headphones or to studio monitors for so long, you start to lose perspective on what you're hearing, and you need to just take a break, leave, go, come back to it fresh. Yeah. Same thing happens with your nose. If you eventually start to overwhelm your nose, at a certain point your nose just kind of gives up. A really quick reset for me, this works for me, is to smell the crook of your arm and your elbow. Because the thing is, for you, this is your baseline smell. So this is the smell that your nose is most used to.
I smell amazing.
Yeah, me too.
I really good. You guys really.
That's pheromones.
Oh,
it's good pheromones.
That's why I have to beat the ladies off with a stick. They can't resist.
So what happens is you're sort of like...
If my wife was watching, she'd be laughing her ass off.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
If you're flooding your nose with the sort of baseline scent by which your brain compares everything, because you're what you smell all the time. That's a good way to kind of for me, it resets my baseline, and then I can go back to, now smell that whiskey again. You can go back to it, and it's more vibrant.
Yeah. No, it's,
Isn't that weird? I actually got some sweeter notes in it the second time I smelled it after doing that. Again, this is not science, it's more of a theory. I've heard a few people use it. Someone mentioned to me once, I tried it, and it worked so well for me, I just sort of stick with it.
He must smell like you.
Yeah.
The Shire.
The Shire.
The smell of
the smell of the Shire.
Stephen Hill. What is this? It says Stephen Hill there, then Dauber here.
He's replying to Dauber.
So he's replying to Dauber in the comments. This is Stephen Hill. People seem to have stopped looking for it. They post...
The sparkle. The beard sparkle.
The beard, so...
People stop looking for the beard sparkle that Chad randomly puts in the video at some point.
This is like Longmorn.
Right now.
This is like Longmorn. This is like Michter's American Whiskey. One does not talk about the beard sparkle.
Yeah, that's true. We've ruined it for everyone. Thanks, Steven.
We should applaud the man for his artistic endeavors.
Yes, Chad. He's talking about Chad.
His attempts to catch us out by adding it near the end shows he is devious. I will not be defeated unless I get bored with it. The sparkle will be in the credits next. Mark my words.
Trying to up our minute watch count by people hanging on for the beard sparkle.
So Stephen Hill also has some dad jokes.
Oh no, but they're good ones. They're from Edinburgh. From the Whiskey Festival. And they're hilarious. Come on. I'm reading those. Wait, where are they? There you go. I just deleted all the German names from my phone. It's now... it's now... I can't do it. It's now Hans free. You chose Deanston as your mooch whiskey?
Deanston 12. Deanston 12. I like Deanston 12. Some people think it's kind of simple.
A gentleman. This is not a dad joke. This is just a flat out good joke. A gentleman is someone who knows how to play the bagpipes and doesn't.
Okay,
Come on. That's not a dad joke. That's just a good joke.
To the Deanston, I'm going to add some...
Now you're stretching it.
Cardhu.
You're now stretching it.
We're doing a Deanston 12 Cardhu 12
blend?
Cardhu 12 blend.
Oh, that actually sounds really good.
I think there was a third dad joke, Daniel. Go ahead.
That second one was not a dad joke. That was just a statement of fact.
Honestly,
a statement of fact. A gentleman is someone who knows how to play the bagpipes but doesn't.
Honestly, I wasn't listening.
No, he wasn't listening
at all. That's actually not a dad joke.
It's really not.
But
I'll tell you the other one so that you can have your two.
No, you don't do that.
The other one was...
No, I'm ahead of the game.
I've earned it.
I'm ahead of the game.
I've earned it. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One's really heavy. The other is a little lighter. Oh, that's so good. Okay, we're good. We're done here.
So it's fine. Just...
What did you think about the Stalk and Barrel? Thank you, Stephen Simple.
I liked that it is unique in the sense that I hardly ever get a pine note.
Yeah.
In terms of the rich, kind of dark fruity notes that I typically lean towards, totally non-existent here.
Right.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A pretty good
effort.
A pretty good, unique...
no, it is very unique. I've never tasted a Canadian whiskey anywhere close to this. Period.
Yeah.
All right, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
If you drink,
may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.